And this is one of the biggest errors we do make as politicians. I would say there are two errors. The first error is that we tend to think that once we take political position, we are wiser than everybody. In fact, sometimes we tend to think that we are wiser than people who are more brilliant than us even in class. Sometimes we tend to think that we are wiser than even people who have been more successful in life. Once we take
private life.
In private life. Once we take public office, it is wrong.
And have a Land Cruiser and air conditioning.
Yes, this is the mistake.
Please find that video for me, my friend Bobby's video. Land Cruiser and air conditioning.
This is the biggest, this is some of the mistakes we've been making. Another mistake is that we forget that apart from the people who were appointed together with ourselves when we take office, most of the people around, we inherit them. Right? And oftentimes, they are not the angels they make us believe they are. And so when information comes to you, you have to be careful. Right? And more importantly, this information, this press conference by the minority was had at the time when there had been two major drug busts in this country.
As the president himself referred to.
As the president himself referred to. $350 million. $150 million. Put together how much? $500 million.
$500 million.
$500 million.
More than what we're asking IMF to give us.
And so, to the extent that you yourself, you are not, right, a staff of the Ghana Airport Company, you are not a security person, you are only a spokesperson sitting at the Flagstaff House. You cannot be everywhere all the time. You should treat with circumspection information that you receive. You might not know, as they say in Chi, somebody may be obi did go about the same. You understand? And so you have to be careful, right? And that is why I find his posture unfortunate in the interview with Asempa, right? Because Reverend Intim Fojo, speaking for the minority, what have we got to gain? Already, if you look at the press statement, he commended the security forces, the security agencies. He commended them for the work they have done and the transparency, right, with which they have treated all these incidents. Because in his words, right, they made known some of the arrests that they have, made. So if somebody is doing this, right, can you say he's being mischievous? He's raising valid points. Oh, look, let's ask ourselves, the persons who were involved in the 2 cocaine arrests, where are they?
They haven't said. They have not told us.
Nobody has briefed us, right? When Mr. Dubois was being taken to court, we saw him in handcuffs, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
The Attorney General said to us that he wanted to be as transparent as possible.
Yes.
Is that not the case?
He says so.
But, so, if...
Oh, that's an interesting one. We have not been told anything after. I think I saw somebody write on Facebook that, hey, what happened to the 350?
We have not been told anything.
Hey, is there something going on?
I don't know. But Paul, what I know from my work and knowledge within, in terms of intelligence, Paul, hardly will any drug baron allow drugs of that magnitude, right, to be detained. Hardly. You know that.
But if he's arrested, the drug will be detained.
And that is why we are asking questions.
But where is the cocaine?
Yes, because we know how these people operate. Paul, if a drug baron, right, feels outsmarted by a partner, he comes after the partner, true or false?
True, they kill you straight.
They kill you
They
straight.
shoot you down.
If a drug baron feels that you are intruding into his area of trade, they come after you.
What are you suggesting?
I am saying that we need more information on this, given our knowledge of the operation of drug barons.
Where
right?
was the drug busted?
It was busted, the $351 million, it was busted on its way from Cape Coast, from the information to Accra.
The drug was in Cape Coast.
Was being transported from Cape Coast to Accra.
But didn't he leave Accra to Cape Coast?
No, we don't know where it was coming from.
And they arrested the vehicle.
What we know is where it was arrested.
It's a vehicle.
It's a vehicle.
What type of vehicle?
Let me check and give you the details.
So somebody was driving the car.
Somebody was driving a car. It had a driver and a mate, right? It was covered with sand. The police, the National Intelligence Bureau, right, removed the sand, went underneath, and then
they found it.
They found it. We are saying that, right?
So where is the driver of the car?
The national security will have to brief us. Nobody is briefing us.
But it's been too long.
It's been too long, since March. And then Reverend Ntim Fodjo is saying that the transparency with which you did the arrest and the disclosure of it, right, do the same with these suspicious aircraft that have come to Ghana. My brother, he didn't accuse government. He didn't blame the president. He said the security agency should give us briefing. Felix, does he work for the security agency? He's the spokesperson for the president. NACOC is an independent statutory authority. Felix doesn't speak for it, right? Felix doesn't speak for National Intelligence Bureau, right? Questions are being asked, answers are being demanded from the security agencies.
But Felix went on to show the profile of those aircrafts and said that these 4 aircrafts came to do, he explained why they were in Ghana and that they have left. Except, of course, we found out that one of the aircrafts hasn't left. Yeah.
Subsequently, Reverend Ntim Fodjo produced evidence of inconsistencies.
He did, yeah.
Right, on your show.
Yes, he did.
That in itself, prima facie, right?
But since then, government hasn't said anything.
Since then, right, what government has, right, is what it's been putting out. However, when you look at what Reverend Ntim Fodjo put out, it raises serious questions to be answered. We are saying that, look, nobody is blaming government. Nobody has blamed the president. Nobody has blamed Felix. Nobody is blaming. We are asking for questions. If you answers, if you have them, produce them. We move on. Our job is to provide oversight. Is that not the case? If we are
to be a watchdog.
To be a watchdog.